Hello students, welcome back to our next lecture of plant anatomy. Today we are going to discuss about the monocotyledonous stem. Yes, up till now we have studied the dicotyledonous root, stem and leaves, and also we have studied the monocotyledonous root also. So in this uh, anatomy, the main or the you can see the common thing in all these are the internal as you can when you see the internal structure of any plant body, whether it is dicotyledonous or it is monocotyledonous, you notice the three main regions. That is, first the outermost protective covering, that is known as the epidermis in case of stem or epiblema in case of root. Okay, then the next part portion that is under to the epidermis is the cortex area. Okay, the cortex may be homogeneous or heterogeneous. Then the next part, that is the third part, is your stele part, that is the vascular tissues, they are present at the center. So what type of vascular bundles or what type of vascular tissues, how they arrange, they may vary with the different organs of the plants. Okay, so today we are going to see the internal structure of monocotyledonous stem. So as the monocotyledonous stem, they does not show any branches when we see it externally, or when we see the external morphology of that plant. What is the difference between the dicotyledonous plant and the monocotyledonous plant? So the main difference related with the stem is the dicotyledonous stem has branches, whereas monocotyledonous stem is unbranched. Okay, also the diameter or the girth of the stem, it is expanding, or it is enlarged as the plant grows in case of dicotyledonous plant. As the growth of the plant takes place, the it increases, that is the length, height wise or lengthwise it also expands or increases, as well as diameter or horizontally it is also expanded, or the girth of the stem is increases. So why it is so? Because there is a presence of lateral meristematic tissue present in between the xylem and phloem in case of dicotyledonous plant. But in case of monocotyledonous plants, we see that there is no increase in girth or the diameter of the stem. Okay, if you can see that is maize plant, sugarcane plant, and all the monocotyledonous plants, that is jowar, wheat, and all these plants, they are included in monocotyledonous. They do not show any increase in size or girth or diameter of the stem. Why it is so? Because there is the absence of secondary growth, or there is absence of meristematic tissues, or you can say cambium in between the xylem and phloem. So the lateral meristematic tissues, they are absent in case of monocotyledonous stem, whereas in dicotyledonous stem these lateral meristematic tissues, they are present. Hence secondary growth takes place in dicot, and in monocot it is absent. So let's start with the internal structure of, that is, monocotyledonous stem. So we have or we take the maize plant here in your syllabus. That is monocotyledonous plant is maize plant. So the first part of every anatomical character or anatomical organ that we have seen, it is the epidermis, that it is the outermost that is protective covering present all over the plant body. So it is like our skin, this epidermis is also protect the whole plant organ. Okay, whether it is root, stem, leaves, flowers, etc. So it is a in case of stem also, it is the outermost, that is covering, protective covering. It is made up of single layer of cells. Okay, and also a well developed cuticle is also present above the epidermis. So along with the epidermis, there is a presence of again a protective covering, that is known as the cuticle. That is a wax like material, that is known as cutin, is secreted or deposited on the wall of the epidermis, and this layer, it forms a it covers the whole epidermis. So with the help of this layer, epidermis protect the internal tissues of the stem. Okay. In case of maize plant, the stem does not show any type of that is, you can say, the epidermal appendages, or we know it, that is the trichomes or the multicellular hair-like projections or appendages. They are absent in case of maize plant or in case of monocotyledonous maize stem. Okay, so this is in case of sunflower stem. In dicotyledonous stem, it is present. Yes, trichomes, they are present. Then what is the function of epidermis? What is the function of epidermis and the cuticle? It protects the inside tissues against the evaporation of water or against some mechanical injuries. Okay, so this cuticle layer and the compactly arranged epidermal layer, it is prevents the loss of water from the internal tissues to the outside. So it prevents the loss, or it protects the inside tissue by from this loss. Okay, so evaporation rate, it becomes less due to the presence of this compactly arranged epidermis with cuticle. So this is about the epidermis. Now next to the epidermis, you can see in the figure that there is a dark patch is there. So this dark patch, which contains the that is cholenchymatous tissues. Yes, this dark patch you can see in the figure, just below the epidermis, a small patch hole, that is patch is there, and in between this patch there is some green cells are present. So this patch, that is dark colored patch, it is made up of cholenchymatous tissue and it is known as the hypodermis. Okay, so the hypodermis, which is present just below the epidermis, in this figure we only focus on the hypodermal region. So this hypodermal, which is multi-layered structure, and it is somewhat, the wall of this layer is somewhat thickened. Okay, so it is made up of 2 or 3 layers of sclerenchymatous cells also. So these green cells, they are the cholenchymatous, and the another patch, remaining patch, it is known as the, it is made up of sclerenchymatous cells. So you can differentiate these cells, that the sclerenchymatous cells, they shows the polygonal in shape, and the whole cell wall is thickened, that is evenly thickened cell wall is present. But in case of cholenchymatous patch, that is the green patch of rounded or oval shaped cells, they show the thickening at their corners only, that is uneven thickening they show on their cell wall. Okay, so this hypodermis, which is made up of, that is cholenchymatous tissues as well as sclerenchymatous tissues, but sclerenchymatous tissues, they are more in number as compared to the cholenchymatous tissues. Okay, so these cholenchymatous tissues, they contain chloroplast in them, that's why they are also known as chlorenchyma. Okay, they are somewhat thickened at the corner and they contain the chloroplast or the chlorophyll pigments. Okay, these chlorophyll pigments helps in photosynthesis. So they these that is cholenchymatous cells, they are also known as chlorenchymatous cells. So these hypodermis, which is made up of 2 types of that is tissues, they are meant for protection against the environmental hazards or injuries, or it protects the inner tissues from evaporation also. Okay, and from injury also. So it is made up of 2 or 3 layers of sclerenchymatous cells with patches of chlorenchymatous cells. Okay, the cells are thick walled and they are compactly arranged. That means there is no any gap in between these cells, that is the intercellular spaces are absent. Okay, so what is the function of this hypodermis? The hypodermis, it is a thick walled made up of thick walled tissue. They are meant for, or they are responsible for, to give the support and to give the mechanical strength and rigidity to the stem. Okay, and to give the protection to the internal tissues. So this is the if you notice that the most of the parts which are facing towards the outer side, or you can say the towards the environment, this part is more and more become protective in nature. It shows such type of that is adjustments, such type of modifications, that the plant can more and more protect from the external injury. So this type of arrangement is only for the protection and gives the mechanical strength and rigidity to the plant, because stem is always facing towards the external injuries and these external hazardous that is conditions or calamities. Okay, so that's why stem has to become more protective in nature, so that they can protect the internal tissues and whole plant body. Okay, so this is the hypodermis, which is present just below the epidermis. Now below the hypodermis there is a presence of ground tissue. So you can see in the figure, from below the that patch of the hypodermis, the whole area, that is other than these vascular bundles, the whole area is made up of thin walled oval, or you can say some rounded shapes cells. So this whole area, it contains the rounded shape structure cells, or the oval shape structures tissues. Okay, so these tissues, they are known as the parenchymatous tissues. The whole area up to the center of the stem, from the hypodermis up to the center, the whole area, the whole portion of the internal structure of stem is filled by this thin walled parenchymatous tissue. They are present everywhere, that is the whole area is occupied by this tissue. Okay, so this entire mass which contains the parenchymatous cells, which are present just below the hypodermis, it is known as the ground tissue. Yes, it is large, multi-layered, that is parenchymatous tissues, made up of parenchymatous tissues, and it consists of rounded or you can say rounded or somewhat oval shaped parenchymatous cells with distinct intercellular spaces. Yes, here the intercellular spaces are present, because this ground tissue is already protected by the hypodermis and epidermis and cuticle. So these parenchymatous tissues, they are that is wholly protected by these tissues. Okay, these parenchymatous tissues, they are mainly responsible for the storage of food and water and all this, that is storage capacity. They have the storage, but their cell wall, it is thin, and as the cell wall is thin, they show the gap in between the two cells, and that gap is known as the intercellular spaces. So in case of hypodermis and in case of epidermal cells, these intercellular spaces are absent, because they cannot allow they doesn't allow the entry of any pathogen, any type of that is heat or all these things into the internal side of the stem. Okay, that's why they are compactly arranged. They don't show any intercellular spaces. But in case of parenchymatous or the ground tissue, which is made up of parenchymatous cells, they are somewhat loosely arranged, because they are tissues which are made up of thin walled cells. Okay, so the intercellular spaces are present in the ground tissue. Okay, so but it is the, you can see somewhat difference in this monocotyledonous stem. Up till now you have studied the dicotyledonous stem, dicotyledonous root, then monocotyledonous root. All these three structures, they show the distinct, that is demarcation line in between the cortex and the stele region. Okay, so we can distinguish, we can differentiate the cortex region with that of the stele region. But in this figure you cannot see such type of demarcating line, or you cannot see as you see in the labeling, you cannot see the endodermis and pericycle region portion. Okay, why? Because it is absent. It is absent in monocotyledonous maize stem. Okay, so it is not clearly, that is the cortex region which is not clearly differentiated into that is the cortex part, then endodermis part, and the pericycle part, and the pith region. Okay, so what is the protection, or what is the demarcating line of the vascular bundles? Yes, in this case the vascular bundle shows their own, that is covering, protective covering, which is made up of sclerenchymatous cells, and this covering is known as the bundle sheath. As it covers the vascular bundle, hence it is known as the bundle sheath. Sheath means the covering the any part or any object, that is the sheath. Okay, and the sheath is present around the vascular bundle, hence it is known as bundle sheath, vascular bundle sheath you can say. So these vascular bundles in this case, or in this monocotyledonous stem, these vascular bundles, as they don't show, or they do not have the endodermis and the pericycle demarcating line, they are scattered, or they are freely scattered in the ground tissue. Okay, they remain scattered in ground tissue, and the main function of it is to store water and food material. Whose function? That is ground tissue. That ground tissue which is shown in the blue colored cells, that is these tissues, that is the ground tissues, they are responsible for storage of food and water. Okay, so this is about the ground tissue, which is somewhat different from that of the other types of internal structure, because they don't show any distinguishing or the differentiation, that is this part is cortex and it ends with the endodermis, and then below the endodermis there is a presence of steel region which starts with pericycle. So all these things, they are absent. Okay, so this is the difference between monocotyledonous stem and the dicotyledonous stem also. So these vascular bundles, whatever their number, they are present freely, or they remain scattered in the ground tissue. They can present anywhere. Okay, so there is no some specific location, but some of the vascular bundles you can see in the figure that they are present at the peripheral side, and some of the vascular bundles, they are present towards the center region. So this is something specific locations they have. Okay, so next part of the, that is internal structure of stem, is vascular bundles. So vascular bundles, they are made up of xylem and phloem. Okay, what type of vascular bundles they are present in the monocotyledonous stem? As the monocotyledonous stem do not show the secondary growth. Okay, secondary growth is not happen in the monocotyledonous stem. That's why lateral meristematic tissue is also absent. And when the lateral meristematic tissue, that is known as the cambium tissue, is absent in these vascular bundles, these vascular bundles, they are closed type. And when we say that the vascular bundle is open, that means the cambium or the meristematic tissues, they are present in between the xylem and phloem. And when this meristematic tissue or cambium is present in vascular bundle, then that vascular bundle is open type. Open means open to divide, that is open to expand. Okay, these meristematic tissues, the nature of these meristematic tissues are what? That they are continuously in dividing stage. So these vascular tissues, they divide, redivide, and then forms a new tissues. Okay, these new tissues, they form, then there is the expansion of the that is girth or of the stem. Okay, but in case of monocotyledonous stem, it is absent. So this monocotyledonous stem, you can see that xylem and phloem, they are present on the same radius. That means these vascular bundles, they are conjoint and collateral. That is, they are present on the same radii or same radius. as in case of root, they are present on the different radii, hence the vascular bundle is known as radial vascular bundle. But in case of stem, the main difference of root and stem is the vascular bundles are conjoint and collateral, that means they are present, xylem and phloem, they are present on a single radii or the single radius, sorry. Okay, so this is the conjoint, collateral and closed. So you can understand the meaning of both these words, conjoint, collateral and the closed. Okay, so each vascular bundles are many in number and they are scattered in the ground tissue. So each vascular bundle is oval in shape, somewhat oval, you can see in the picture, that is it is oval in shape and is conjoint, collateral, endarch and closed type. So endarch, you also know about the what do you mean by endarch and what do you mean by exarch condition. In case of root, you see the exarch condition, and in case of stem, you see the endarch condition. So it depends on the position of the protoxylem present. When the protoxylem present towards the peripheral region, that means towards the epidermis or the hypodermal region, then that condition is known as exarch condition. Towards the outside, that means exarch condition. And when protoxylem present towards the center region, that is centrally located, or pith, towards the pith, then it is known as the endarch condition. So in case of stem, there is always endarch condition, and in case of root, whatever may be dicot or monocot, in root it is exarch condition. Okay, so each vascular bundle, as I have said earlier, that each vascular bundle is surrounded by a sheath which is made up of sclerenchymatous fibers or sclerenchymatous cells. This sheath is known as the bundle sheath, which is specially developed on the two sides. Two sides means on the upper side and on the lower side. So this sheath, that is sclerenchymatous tissues, they are present on upper side also and lower side also, and it covers the vascular bundles, hence it is known as bundle sheath. Okay, so each and every vascular bundle, it is covered by this bundle sheath. The vascular bundle present towards the that is peripheral region or towards the epidermal region, they are smaller in size. You also differentiate in the figure also, in that diagram also, that the two vascular bundles that you see in the that faces towards the epidermal region, they are somewhat smaller in size as compared to the middle one, that is which is directed towards the center, is somewhat larger in size. So at the peripheral region, the vascular bundles present, they are smaller in size, and at the central region, when the vascular bundles are present, they are larger in size. Okay, so this is about the vascular bundles. Now we will see the xylem and phloem. That is how the xylem it is made up of which type of tissues, and phloem also. So in this figure, you can see we only focus only on one vascular bundle. Then we can see this type of structure. That is, you see the oval structure of the vascular bundle. Then you can see that is violet color, that is thick walled cells, that is bundle sheath. The upper part and the lower part, it is more in number as compared to the side. And then two types of circular bodies you can see in the figure. This larger circular body or somewhat oval circular body, oval body is known as the metaxylem, and the smaller one which is present at the center, two smaller vessels, that is circular rings are present, it is known as the protoxylem. So this is the xylem region, and above the xylem region there is a portion just under the bundle sheath, that is known as the phloem. So the xylem, in case of this monocotyledonous stem, the xylem lies on inner side and the phloem lies towards the outer side. So it consists of protoxylem, metaxylem vessels, that is vessels, they are of two types, metaxylem and protoxylem. Then tracheids are also present, and xylem parenchyma is also present. You can see the xylem parenchyma present, the cells or the tissues which are present, that is in between the metaxylem and protoxylem. The whole part of the xylem which is made up of this tissue other than the xylem vessels. Okay, so these parenchymatous tissue, they are also present in between these two. The xylem, it is consist of four distinct vessels. You can see in the figure 4 vessels. 2 are large and 2 are small. Now the arrangement is also somewhat different or somewhat specific. Okay, so these are arranged like a Y-shaped structure. Okay, you can see that the metaxylem, it forms the two metaxylem vessels which are present just above the protoxylem. They are located at the upper two arms and one or two protoxylem vessels at the base. Okay, so it forms a Y-shaped structure. Metaxylem forms the arms and protoxylem forms the stalk, or the that is the bilateral stalk. Okay, so two smaller vessels lying at the arm base constitute the protoxylem. So the larger vessels, they are known as metaxylem, and the smaller vessels which forms the which are present at the base of the arm is known as the protoxylem. In case of mature bundle, the lowest protoxylem disintegrates and forms a cavity, and that cavity, that is the xylem cavity, is formed. So the lowest, that is the protoxylem, the second protoxylem which is present at the lower side, it becomes disintegrate and it forms a cavity, and it is known as the xylem cavity. Okay, so let's look at the phloem now. So the phloem, which is present just above the xylem, this phloem tissues, you can see in the figure, that is this phloem which lies outer to the xylem, and it consists of sieve tubes and companion cells only. That means the sieve tubes, they are only sieve tubes and companion cells, they are present in the phloem tissues, but the another two types of cells, that is phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers or phloem sclerenchyma, both are absent in case of this vascular bundles, in case of this monocotyledonous mesh stem. Okay, so this phloem, it can be distinguished into an outer crushed protophloem and inner metaphloem. So let's have a look of this. Okay, this, in this picture you see the labeling part, that is crushed protophloem, and the there is the lower portion which shows the that is metaphloem. Okay, so this upper part is known as the upper part of the phloem is known as the crushed protophloem, and the next to the lower part, that is metaphloem. So like in xylem, it consists of two types of vessels, like that the phloem also two types of phloem, that is crushed protophloem and metaphloem. Okay, and in xylem it is metaxylem and protoxylem. Okay, so this is the monocotyledonous stem. Okay, this is all about the monocotyledonous stem. It does not show teeth, or it does not show a distinct steel region, although it contains vascular bundles, but these vascular bundles, it is not demarcated, or it is not covered by pericycle, or you can say the endodermis. Okay, so this is about the monocotyledonous stem. So let's have a quick look of the distinguishing characters of monocotyledonous stem. So first part, that is epidermis. It is single layered, cells are compactly arranged, no intercellular spaces are there. There is a secretion of waxy thick cuticle layer, and they together protect the inner tissues of the stem. There is no trichomes or multicellular hair-like appendages present on the surface of epidermis. Then below the epidermis, there is a presence of multilayered hypodermis, which is made up of sclerenchymatous, thick-walled sclerenchymatous tissues, and there is a patches of chlorenchymatous tissues also. Okay, since multilayered sclerenchymatous hypodermis again gives protection to the internal tissues, and it also prevents the evaporation of water. Okay, then this epidermis of the stem epidermis, if it is in young stage, it is green in color, and it also contains the chlorophyll pigments, and also it contains the stomata also. Okay, so below the hypodermis, there is a presence of ground tissue. That ground tissue is not differentiated into cortex and still region. So the whole portion, that is portion other than the hypodermis, all the internal portion is made up of this parenchymatous ground tissue. So this ground tissue, which is made up of parenchymatous thin walled cells, hence intercellular spaces are present. They are responsible for storage of water and food material. Now in that ground tissue, many number of vascular bundles are scattered here and there. Some of the vascular bundles, they are present towards the peripheral side, and some of the vascular bundles, they are present towards the center side. Okay, so center side. Okay, so the peripheral side vascular bundles, they are smaller in size, and the central vascular bundles, they are larger in size. So vascular bundles are conjoined, collateral and closed type. These vascular bundles does not show cambium or meristematic tissues. All the vascular, each and every vascular bundles, they are protected by a bundle sheath, which is made up of sclerenchymatous thick walled cells. That is, they are present at the lower and the upper side, and also to the side also, side region also. The xylem and phloem tissues. Xylem present at the lower side and the phloem present towards the outer side. This xylem is made up of xylem vessels, two types of vessels, metaxylem and protoxylem, and tracheids also present, and xylem parenchyma is also present. Only xylem sclerenchyma is absent. In case of phloem tissue it is made up of sieve tubes and companion cells only. That means phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers, they are absent. These phloem also are two types, crushed protophloem and the metaphlloem. Okay, phloem is the food conducting tissue and xylem is the water conducting tissue. So this type of arrangement we see in the monocotyledonous stem. Okay, so you can understand how it different from that of the root. So I give you some of the homework today for you, that we have finished now the dicotyledonous root, dicotyledonous stem, and also monocotyledonous root and monocotyledonous stem. So you have to differentiate, you have to write down some of the different points that you can understand. Okay, so from this up to this level, you differentiate two, that is monocotyledonous stem with dicotyledonous stem, and monocotyledonous root with that of the dicotyledonous root, and in our next lecture we will discuss on it. Now only one part, that is the monocotyledonous leaf, is remain, and we will discuss it in our next lecture too. So do your homework and write down the difference between these two. Okay, so this is the over for today's lecture. We will see with your assignment and with leaf anatomy in the next lecture. Thank you very much. Again I that is told you earlier, but again I am remembering that please give me your feedback, whether you can understand or not, and how or if you don't have any problem, then also you can please give me your feedback. Okay, thank you.